Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Forkless Cafe. Let me turn on this light. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Forkless Cafe. My name is Andrew. I am Hedera Hashgraph's social media manager, and this is our weekly live stream where you come for your weekly DLT insights. We're going to start things off here actually welcoming our very special guest, Manon Harmon. He needs no introduction. He is the man, the myth, the legend. Many of you have spoken with Manon in Telegram, and I cannot thank him enough for joining us on the very first Forkless Cafe post open access. Manon, welcome to the live stream.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. And I'm glad, even though there was no memo, we are both rocking the same threads today.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to do it. And as always, we are joined by the amazing friend and colleague of mine, Sharon Cross, the social community director, who will be manning the live chat for us as well. I don't know if Sharon is able to say hello today.
Yeah, hello everyone. I can.
There we go.
With a lot of background noise, but great to have you, Manon. It's great to be with you all.
Right on. Good stuff. So, and as always, we have our weekly agenda. Our objective is to share interesting news and in the industry and the Hashgraph ecosystem. We're going to start off with a quick guest intro, even though I'm sure many of you don't need an intro. We'll go to industry insights, Hedera highlights, social sizzlers, and then once again, our favorite hero of the week. So for those of you who are not aware of Manon, I'd love to pass the floor over to Manon so that you can share with us a bit of your background and how you're able to spend so much time and effort into the Telegram chat, helping the community out. So bring us up to speed for anybody who's not familiar with you.
Well, absolutely, yeah. As many of you do know, Mance is my brother, so I've been around Lehman and Mance and their journey to bringing the absolute trust layer to the internet for many, many years. I was in the United States Air Force as an air traffic controller. Once I got out of the Air Force, then I went into the mortgage business. So I was a mortgage broker for over 21 years. Gave me some flexibility to be able to be online, to be able to assist the Telegram community while I was continuing, my day job at the same time. So it's been an interesting 18 months. We finally made it, and really, really excited that OA is here. Looking forward to what the future holds. Got some great dApps that have already launched with us. Looking forward to speaking about them and some of the numbers that we're seeing already. Only one weekend, so really excited and glad to be here.
Right on, right on. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen here again, and we'll start things off with how we're going to play out today. Manon gave us a little teaser there. We're going to, and I'm trying to get my screen to go next. There we go. We're going to focus on some dApps today, and these are just a small sample of the 26 dApps that launched with us at Open Access. These are some of the press releases, and a quick review. If you're joining us for the very first time, we will be providing all these links for everyone who wants to take a deeper dive. Clearly, we don't want this live stream going on too long, but we'll be able to touch on each of these, and then you'll be able to get a link to hashgraph.org, where we'll have a composite list of all of these links in case there's one dApp that you're particularly more interested in than the rest, and you want to take a deeper dive in, right? And then from there, we'll go into the Hedera highlights. So let's start things off with AdsDax. So AdsDax to launch its fight against ad fraud on Hedera Hashgraph. I took a look at these press releases here and wanted to focus on a few points for each. So AdsDax has ambitious plans to solve the problem of ad fraud in the ad industry. Currently, advertisers are unable to guarantee whether their campaigns have reached the audiences they were promised, or if their campaigns have generated any real results. AdsDax is leveraging Hedera Hashgraph to build a platform that will track and verify advertising events and engagement. We're providing security, resilience, scalability, and transparency without the need of middlemen. Hashgraph has proven it has the scale, speed, and reliability to handle all the live advert tracking data and programmatic event data that we have been handling in the recent campaigns. So that was from Ian Mullins, the founder and CEO of AdsDax. This is an interesting conversation simply because online marketing is a massive business, and there has been a lot of news in recent, I would say the last couple of years actually, about ad fraud, and this use case is a prime example of a company that's trying to further eliminate the trusted third-party intermediaries, the middlemen, to streamline the process. I think at the end of the day, DLT technology, that is the main goal, to isolate these middlemen that have over recent years sort of just clogged up the various systems, so to speak, right? So yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this one, Andrew. AdsDax, if you think about it, there's so many people that want to pay for advertising, but how do you know you're getting the value for what you're paying for? And so now, finally, using the Hedera Hashgraph ledger, you will be able to know with certainty that the person that is looking at the ad was a live person. It wasn't a bot. And so you, as a business owner, will be able to trust, again, bringing back the trust layer. You'll be able to trust that the number of views of your ad were legitimate views of the ad and wasn't just a bot looking at the ad. So interesting use case. Looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. But again, one key example of how we can start the new trust layer of the internet in a monetary way through AdsDax.
Yeah, that's a good point. The whole promise of online marketing was that entrepreneurs, small business owners, these enterprises would have more bang for their buck. And in recent years, it seems like they're not getting what the ad spend has traditionally become more and more expensive with each passing year. And so these guys, AdsDax, seems to have found a solution to improve this situation, the whole process. And moving on to the next one here. This one's a really exciting use case for a lot of people. Power Transition Limited to build energy microgrid on Hedera Hashgraph public distributed ledger. So Power Transition offers a revolutionary microgrid management platform designed to transform how energy is used, managed, and traded by governments, organizations, businesses, and individuals. The Power Transition IMAAS platform can provide instantaneous micropayments while monitoring and managing individual units of energy throughout the life cycles with accountable pinpoint accuracy. Power Transition has already demonstrated its capabilities to key stakeholders, including the UK government, who can improve the efficiency of taxation through micropayments, and the UK energy sector, who have committed to fund its further development. This has been an exciting one. We've had Power Transition on the Gossip About Gossip podcast with Paul Madsen. For those of you who would like a deeper dive into this use case, highly recommend going to our YouTube channel and finding the playlist for our Gossip About Gossip podcast. This is a powerful use case that no doubt has the possible impact to affect everyone globally if we had an efficient way to trade and manage power on these microgrids. Yeah, very exciting. And moving on here, we have Armada Chain. Armada Chain's actually also been on the Gossip About Gossip podcast. This is another exciting one. I think a lot of people first started talking about supply chain management when DLT technology first arrived on the scene, so to speak. And Armada Chain was one that launched with us on open access. We at Armada Chain believe in the vision of global collaboration where companies can share information in a secure, trusted, but simple method. DLT opened the door for this possibility with blockchain, yet companies struggle to implement this technology efficiently. Taking a different approach to blockchain using Hedera Hashgraph, Armada Chain built the Armada ecosystem to allow companies to collaborate and use DLT without needing to leave their existing workflows. I suspect that this is actually one of the single benefits that enterprises worldwide are going to see, because they've invested just untold amounts of money and time and energy into their existing workflows. So whatever solutions that they can depend upon to help streamline their processes have to work along with their existing workflows. Because you can imagine a massive supply chain management system is quite complex. And Armada seems to be taking on this challenge head on and launched along with us at Open Access. So this is
I was
exciting.
really proud of these guys. I mean, they're doing some amazing work, watching some of the use cases and things that they're developing. I know that they were at a conference recently, I think I saw online, with some of the people with IBM and things of that nature. So supply chain management obviously seems like it's one of the low-hanging fruit places for early usage. I'm really interested to see how they move forward. I think another place where, you know, it'll go extremely well with them is once the Hedera consensus service is launched, where the enterprises don't have to learn a new language. They can use whatever they have already built, but they need the trust of the public knowledge. And so really interested for supply chain management, and Armada's they're definitely at the leading edge on this and doing some amazing work right now.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I'm trying to recall right now myself what post I saw from them recently too, man, and I saw it too, and they've been very active in various DLT events all over the place. And again, we did have them on Gossip About Gossip podcast for anyone who wants to learn more about these guys, but clearly a project to keep a close eye on for sure.
Absolutely.
And then next here we have, this is another exciting one, Carbon launches the first stablecoin on Hedera Hashgraph network. This I found this press release to be quite interesting for these 2 points here. So we got a quote here: "We believe Fiber's payment rails and overall user experience, coupled with CUSD on the Hedera platform, which enables settlement in seconds with microcent transaction fees, even when sending the stable coins across borders and to the unbanked recipients, will make applications that leverage these features very intuitive for mainstream users," said Miles Albert, co-founder and chief strategy officer at Carbon. This next point is something that I have to note. In addition, the Hedera network's fork resistance with its council governance model gives assurance to counterparties who use CUSD with a smart contract agreement that their token will never fork along with a competing version of the Hedera ledger, in which case there would be two versions of CUSD, but only one version with the one-to-one fiat redeemability. Fork resistance, therefore, may become a required property for many owners of asset-backed tokens, Albert noted. Wanted to touch on that for anyone watching the live stream, because there is a lot of discussion around forking, and clearly there's a lot of pros for forking, and the arguments are well documented that this has actually created a lot of value in the marketplace, because this is how solutions to problems are discovered, when the community rises and creates a solution to a possible bottleneck or problem. Now, where we run into problem with forking is it does create chaos and instability in the marketplace, and we've seen this in the last year or two with the recent big forks that have happened through the various DLT technology that currently exists. Because anytime in this situation with Carbon, in any circumstance where you have tokens that are representing a hard asset, you could suspect, you could reliably predict that a fork would then create a lot of chaos as far as which token actually represents that hard asset, and what are the ramifications, what happens after the fork. If the platform forks into a competing platform with competing cryptocurrency or a competing token, how do you move forward? And that is the question that we believe Hedera Hashgraph has brought the solution to. So, yeah.
And they've been around for a long time. I mean, they're some of the first believers in Hedera. And so obviously, you know, Carbon's been doing quite well. They were currently on a couple of the other networks that are out there, but it was really exciting to see that at Open Access, for the first time ever on day one, a stablecoin was able to move over with the trust of knowing that the system was sustainable, it wasn't going to fork, and that it could handle the speed and finality that a stablecoin would need. So really, congratulations to Miles and his team. I mean, what a great group of guys, and happy that they're building on top of Hedera.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually participated in Hedera 18 last October in Dallas. We had various dApps speaking on stage. You can find their video presentation on our YouTube channel when they spoke at H18, and learn more about these guys. Okay. Coming up next, we got EarthId, self-sovereign identity platform, launches at open access. So EarthId, as a decentralized identity management platform, will provide a safe and secure identity to all human beings through the power of cryptography and distributed ledger technology. EarthId provides user-owner universal identity, enabling borderless access to global services. EarthId will also provide a digital ID wallet, aggregating users' identity and vital information across industries. Compliant with global data regulations like GDPR, EarthId also offers a proprietary identity scoring mechanism, Trust Score, reflecting the strength of users' identity. Founded in 2018, EarthId's pilot solution is now available on the Hedera mainnet. Another fantastic use case here that I'm personally excited about because, identity management, identity theft has been a plaguing problem to a lot of people. It hasn't happened to me, knock on wood. It hasn't happened to me, but I've talked to many people throughout my life where they've run into terrible problems and where their credit score was affected and all kinds of nastiness out there. Actually, yeah, man, and you mentioned that you were in the mortgage business for years. So I would venture a guess that you've come across some of these problems. I don't know. Have you come across any of this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is an unbelievable use case. Self-sovereign identity is going to be the thing of the future. When you can take back your data and you can be able to control your identity without having the need to give everybody everything. Just a simple use case that Lehman has talked about before. If you had, your ID on, let's say, your smartphone, and you want to prove that you're 21 years old. Well, you could show just the piece to the receiver that you're 21. They don't need to know your driver's license number. They don't need to know your home address. But if they could trust that the ID that you had on your smartphone was legitimate, then you could use just whatever the receiving party needed to know at that given time. So self-sovereign identity, it is coming. It's early days, obviously, and they've got some hurdles to overcome, but I absolutely believe that is something that we're going to see in the future. And again, EarthId, leading edge, they're starting and, they're building, and very, very honored that they chose Hedera to build their platform on.
Yeah. Anything worth having doesn't come without some level of struggle, right?
That's correct.
And GDPR that they highlight here is a clear example of where governments are taking things, where they're realizing that there's a problem here that we need a solution for. My understanding is that California has their own version coming pretty, I think, January 2020, and you can imagine that these kinds of regulatory guidelines are just going to become more and more strict, and this DLT technology has to be able to cope with these changes, right? So yeah.
It does, and I mean that's the beauty of Hedera platform. I mean, it is GDPR compliant. At open access day one, not only can you prove with finality that something has been stored in the file service, you can also prove that it's been deleted. And so, I'm not so sure you can say that about other platforms at the current day, but you can about Hedera.
Yeah, exactly. Right on. Yeah, that's an exciting project. We also have the HBar Wallet. My HBar Wallet was influenced by my Ether wallet, the top wallet for the Ethereum blockchain. We wanted to make the experience of using Hedera familiar to those who are already active in the cryptocurrency space. I think that makes a lot of sense. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's look at what's already working out there in the community and and provide solutions for people. But these guys came along and created an open source desktop friendly user interface for the community. This is another valuable resource for the community, and I can't wait to hear all the positive reviews about this one too. I've checked it out myself, and it looks pretty slick.
Yeah, this one is a big one. I mean, so one of the main things that we get questioned on, and of course, is how do I go to a third party and get a wallet, or how do I get something established? MyHbarWallet is one of those third-party wallets that you can use today. Hedera is an account-based system. So obviously you have to have somebody that has a current account ID to set you up for that. But there's I believe I saw earlier today or yesterday, a YouTube that's out there. If you're interested in it, go check that out. But they have some ways to be able to have an easy access approach to be able to obtain a wallet and to generate an account ID through the third party space instead of having to go through Hedera Direct for those solutions. So interesting to see, glad that they're out there, and hope they get a lot of usage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about supporting the community at the end of the day and solving problems. And this is just the first example of that. It's still early days. Open access was just a week ago, and it took a lot of work, a lot of time to get to this point. And it's exciting to see these 26 dApps that launch along with us at OA. And I know that the community was looking for more options to create account IDs and create a wallet to store their HBAR and cryptocurrencies.
Absolutely.
This is an exciting one right here. We got Mathew Knowles adds his Grammy award-winning music catalog to Tune.fm, launching the first music streaming platform with the Jam token cryptocurrency running on Hedera Hashgraph. This was super exciting to learn about. So it says right here, music mogul Mathew Knowles, who's best known for his managing Destiny's Child and grooming his daughters Beyonce and Solange to mega stardom from his label Music World Entertainment, has signed out the advisory board of Here.fm, now known as Tune.fm. And it says here, the MVE catalog has over 4,500 songs, including many Grammy award-winning artists. Today, MVE begins earning Jam tokens for every second of streaming alongside thousands of artists around the world on Tune.fm today. The Jam token enables micropayments for each second streamed by running on the fastest and most secure distributed ledger technology available today, Hedera Hashgraph. Tune.fm is a totally new pay-as-you-go business model for the music industry that pays artists fairly and instantly. And I love this line that I'm pretty sure they coined. When the music gets played, the artist gets paid.
Love it. That's an unbelievable line. And so, you know, the community knows Hero. The big thing here is they have changed. It is now Tune. Tune FM is now their name. They got some promotion things going on right now, I believe, to earn some Jam tokens so that you can use it. But great addition and signing for them. Major person that can put a spotlight on to what they're attempting to do. I think that's unbelievable. Music played, the artist is going to get paid. Listening to them over the years and thinking about, you know, how long it takes for the artist to get paid in the current systems where the artist can actually be paid instantaneously. It's pretty incredible. Again, wasn't possible on other networks. It is possible on Hedera, and it's because of the speed of the network.
Yeah. Andrew and Brian Antar, the founders of Tune.fm, they're classically trained violinists, and they're also very technical savvy. And they're also they were also presenting at Hedera 18 as well. So definitely check out our YouTube playlist for Hedera 18 and check out their presentation. What they're working on here is so exciting. I couldn't agree with you more. I've been following what they've been doing over the last year as well. And here's that program you were referring to, earn 100 free Jam tokens in your wallet just for signing up on Tune.fm and discover new artists from unsuspecting places around the world. The Tune.fm mission is to enable artists to earn a living wage by cutting out the middleman and going direct to fan with artists in control of their rights and able to earn instantly as their music is streamed. For the first time ever, Tune.fm is turning the tables on the music business. I'm trying to recall the stats that they quoted in a previous interview, and I'm almost positive Andrew Antar said something to the effect that for 1 million downloads, the artist would receive $20 after 2 years. So not only is the compensation quite low, but the latency, the amount of time, the lag time between the listen and the artist actually receiving fair compensation, if you can call it that, it was horrendous, just terrible. So how does a musician create a living, are able to put food on the table under the current system, under the typical traditional streaming model? So Tune.fm is, wow, they're doing something incredible. And
they're doing some really good stuff
so
for
excited.
a new artist too. I mean, some of the things that when I listened to them that I really enjoyed about their platform is it's going to be able to give instant feedback to the artist itself, because what you're doing is you're paying them on a second level. So if you've got a great song but you see that everybody is stopped listening after the first verse, but you know if they'll just get to the second verse, they're going to love it. So the artists themselves can get instant feedback on what their community wants. Maybe they need to switch that song around. Maybe they need to change that tempo up a little bit. And so not only is it going to be instant paid to the artist, but it's going to be instant information to let the artist know, does the community get it? Are they listening for the full song? And really exciting use case. I'm happy for Tune FM. I think they got something big here. I think they've got something big.
Yeah, agreed. They one thing that they worked on that I'm excited about is the fact that the artist could market their business, market their music by paying for the first listens.
That's right.
So, and if you look at it from the other side of the coin, now listeners can just go and discover music from around the world and get paid for a first listen. So now you're getting paid to listen to music, and if you really enjoy the music that you discovered, then you're going to start listening to that artist more often, and then that cash flow, if you will, reverses, and now you're paying those micro payments to the artists in compensation for the value that they're bringing the listener. I think that's revolutionary. I just think that's completely mind-boggling and will totally change the entire game. It's a great use case, and I hope to see some amazing things from these guys in the future, because this is just mind-boggling. It's incredible. Okay, let's see here. What else we got next? We got lots of dApps. I'm not covering them all today. Coinsquad to expand tech support services. Now, I'm not a developer. And I read up on these guys, and I'm sure developers will find a ton of value in this. But Frederick, if I'm saying this correctly, Frederick Ruff, CEO of Coinsquad, says, in an industry where tech support does not exist, we are introducing the first fully decentralized tech support application that can be used by any managed service provider, not just in the cryptocurrency space, but everywhere in IT. Hashgraph's asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance property is the gold standard for security in distributed systems. Web 3.0 is the next phase of the internet, and we are the first to provide tech support service to utilize the core technology. I love this. Coinsquad is the geek squad for cryptocurrency, a managed cryptocurrency service provider offering to protect clients in a 24/7 developing marketplace. So these guys are obviously onto something here, because they recognize that there's going to be a massive need for support for DLT technology, and they stepped their game up and said, no, we're going to launch with Hedera at open access and provide this level of support. So I think this is a no-brainer, but not being a developer, I'm sure the value that they bring is probably lost on me somewhat.
It's lost on me as well. This one's over my head, obviously, you know.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
It's going to be a great use case for the developers. Hey, you know, post a comment below about these guys. If you're a developer, let us know. But this one here, you know, is a little bit above my knowledge base for sure.
Yeah, happy to get some feedback from the community on this one to offer some more insights. But I'm sure the value these guys are going to bring is going to be exceptionally important. So we have Zabo integrates with Hedera to enable seamless connections. So as we've got another quote here, as a cryptocurrency and distributed ledger projects grow and gain adoption, we are working hard to make Zabo the go-to developer API for easily integrating cryptocurrency wallets into applications, said Alex Treese, Zabo's founder and president. We are thrilled to be working with Hedera as they arrive at open access to support the next generation of developers building financial services applications that couldn't exist before. We are excited to help integrate Hedera accounts and add HBAR to a wide variety of use cases, including digital banking, financial tracking, investments, and many others. Actually, my background was financial services before I discovered Hedera Hashgraph, and very quickly realized that a DLT technology that's fast, fair, and secure will undoubtedly impact financial services. So I started going down the rabbit hole like a lot of other people, and one thing led to the next, and I am fortunate and grateful and very lucky to have been able to join the team. But here we got Zabo that is recognized something similar in the fact that we will be seeing some changes in distributed ledger technology affecting financial services. So, and I don't know if you heard a lot of talk about that with mortgages. Maybe it's still too early days for mortgages, but you can assume that one day that's going to happen too. So.
Oh, absolutely. I think as technology improves, everything is going to be seamless, and so these guys are going to be there to assist the developer community integration of the APIs. And so it's just another third party that is there to assist the broader community to be able to learn and how to experience what the platform can do. So really glad that they're here to assist people with the onboarding.
Exactly. Right on. So let's see here. I will bring back the presentation here. So let's move on to the Hedera highlights. We've got, got to wake up my screen here.
Excuse me.
Here we go. We got a blog here from Manon's brother. Hello, future, and where do we go from here? If you're watching us on this live stream, highly recommend you check out this blog. We are listening to the community, and we want all of you to know that. We had a very crazy and hectic week last week, and I'm sure we're still, all of us are still trying to catch up, and we've been gathering lots of questions from the community, and Mance took the time to write up a blog here and answered a lot of the FAQs right here. So we'll be making sure to include this link for everybody so that we can get a lot of this value and answers out there, because we're going through a fundamental shift as we speak. These are very important days that we're in. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you can actually click here to watch the recording of the open access virtual event that happened just last week. We're not even 7 days. We're not even 7 days after open access. It's incredible to be here finally. I know the community have been saying that this was the longest summer ever. And no one's more happy to finally be here than the Hedera team. But I highly recommend people to check out this blog and get some answers to these questions. The one that I'd like to highlight, where is it now? Right here. Is Hedera censorship resistant? This is an important one. Really highlights the facts that being a distributed network, Hedera does not have the ability to reverse transactions. So it's very, very important to have your passphrases, have your private keys saved away, locked away in a safe, secure place, as management of your private details will undoubtedly fall onto your shoulders, right? So, but
exactly, and the key to this right here is that all these questions came from the community. Mm-hmm. Now, is it true that it took a little bit of time to be able to put this out? Some of these questions, it took a couple of weeks before the blog to come out to answer the questions that were there. Instant gratification is something that we all want. However, when you're building hopefully a 100-year company, there are some legal aspects to everything that has to take place. So it's not something that just any comment can just willy-nilly be thrown out there. It takes some thoughtful time and research with the appropriate people and the appropriate teams. But this is an example of were the questions asked and were they answered? And the absolute answer is yes. And so I would expect in the coming days, weeks, months ahead, you know, you're going to get more questions to more answers that you have. So as a community, just know, you know, the team is listening. Whatever the questions are, it's not going on deaf ears. It might take some time to be able to get the answer out to you because it has to funnel through different entities. But the answers to your questions will come. And so really happy to see this one. These were some questions that some of the Telegram members had asked and were looking for answers to, and was happy to see that their questions were answered, and they were answered right here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm glad you highlighted that because being the social media manager, I'm quite active in the various social channels. And there are times where I see someone may label Hedera Hashgraph as an altcoin. And I would personally push back on that because Hedera is far more than HBAR. Our co-founder and inventor of the Hashgraph algorithm, Dr. Lehman Baird, has said, openly shared, that if there was a way to create this DLT without a cryptocurrency, he would have explored that route. But ultimately, for reasons that have been shared many times, we need a scarcity, a scarce resource for security reasons, for incentivization reasons, and so ultimately we went down this route. But ultimately, Hedera is seeking to be the trust layer of the internet, and we believe we have the technology and the means and the governance model to do so in a scalable way. But you raise a good point there, Manon, because we do try our best to answer all the questions that we get from the community members. There is a lot of content out there that we've already provided. And we need to strive to do more, to be more transparent and more authentic and provide more answers to these questions. And there's a lot of questions out there because we've taken on a massive challenge of the new trust layer of the internet, and it's going to take a lot of Q&A to get there too, right? And we can't do it without the community. The community is making us better, so it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we got another blog here. Decentralized applications go live on Hedera Hashgraph as mainnet opens to the public. This obviously goes through all of them. AdProp, AdsDax, we talked about all over chain. So this lists all 26 of them. As a lot of people have been asking, how many dApps are building on us? Being an open network, and now that, especially now that we've achieved open access, I don't believe we'll ever know the real number. Not all projects reveal themselves to the Hedera team, but as projects become public and as projects share their details with us, we'll be happy to add their information to the website so that everyone can learn about these dApps that are building on the mainnet and building the utility of Hedera Hashgraph so that people can use and utilize these the amazing, fast, fair, secure nature of the platform. Right? And what do we have here next? We got this blog from Paul Madsen, our technical lead from Hedera, fair access versus fair ordering and transactions per second examined and explained. Some of you may have been following a Twitter thread between Paul Madsen and a thought leader in Twitter and a popular blogger in Medium. They had some back and forth, some FUD, some counter FUD, some counter FUD, and it was an interesting dialogue between the two of them. But it provided a massive learning opportunity for us and for the community. So Paul sat down and created this blog. So highly recommend people to come check this one out too, as this was another example, another effort of the team trying to bring some clarity to the overall complexity of what we're doing here, right? So So
it's a lot
highly
easier to do it in a blog than just a couple of characters in a tweet too. And so,
Yeah.
you know, obviously those things go back and forth, but as you can see, you know, Paul has taken the time to be able to put this together to try to get some of the information out there that really is extremely necessary. You know, what truly is TPS and what does it mean about fair access versus fair ordering? I mean, you know, obviously you got to get into the network, and once you're in the network, that's when everything becomes fair. So, you know, real good blog post. I highly anticipate to see more things from Paul as more technical questions arise. You know, OA was just the beginning. Yeah, no, so there's going to be a lot more eyes on us with a lot more questions, a lot more education will be needed. And so I do expect to see more and more from that. And it's going to be probably in context like this blog where you can actually dig in and understand instead of some, you know, quick tweet soundbite, you know. He takes the time to really dig into what the differences are because words matter. You know, this community and cryptocurrency as a whole, we all have different words that have different meanings. And so, you know, he tries to explain some of the way that Hedera approaches things and the meaning behind the words. And so I really appreciate what he put together here.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you highlighted that. In my own experience, if you went into a room with 100 people and asked that 100 people the definition of the word risk, you would get 100 different definitions.
Right.
And from my perspective, it seems very similar when you ask for a definition for decentralization or distributed or DLT, distributed ledger technology. It seems that there's a lot of mixed definitions because we're still very much early days. And so true, words matter. It's difficult to express enough detail in a restricted tweet, and whereas Paul is able to produce these blogs, these more detailed blogs, to help bring that clarity that the community wants and deserves. So that's a good point. Yeah.
But you should follow him on Twitter because he's great. He's one of the funniest guys on Twitter too. So he's got a real good sense of humor behind him. So you need to follow Paul if you're not.
Agreed. I'm with you on that one. So those were the Hedera highlights. I'd like to move on to some of the social sizzlers. The social sizzlers, for those of you who haven't watched this before, are the tweets that tend to perform better than the rest of the pack, so to speak. So in a weird kind of way, that's the community letting us know the kind of content that they enjoy digesting, and they feel compelled to share that with us through the different means. So this was a big moment for us launching open access, and so this tweet did quite well. Dr. Lehman Baird and Mance Harmon both have their Twitter handles on the tweet here. And this is the recording for the open access virtual event that I already mentioned earlier on. If you didn't get to watch live with us, then you can catch up the recording here and enjoy the big moment with the rest of us, because there was a lot of work that led up to this event. And speaking personally, I was lucky to join some other Hedera team members in Amsterdam. We had the team converge on different offices globally. We had an office in SF, our headquarters in Dallas and New York, and I was with a bunch of our developers in Amsterdam, which meant the event started at 1 a.m. for us. But hey, that's what happens when you are a distributed ledger technology and have a global presence. Not everybody's going to have the best time, best start time. But it was a good time. It was a really good time. And then the other tweet here that did really well is this article from Cointelegraph, which obviously helped us celebrate the big moment about open access with our beta version of the mainnet. And now it's time for the big push for version 1, expected to be in 2020. And that'll be the next big finish line that we're pushing for, and we are so excited to experience that with the community as well. So I will transition back to the presentation here for our favorite part. Congratulations, Bryce. We have our community hero of the week. Thank you, million thank yous. It's been a very, very exciting week and exciting time for us. And Bryce, you are one of our Telegram admins / moderators. Bryce is not an employee of the company, just kindly volunteers his time. We've noticed how he's really stepped his game up and provides a lot of value to the community. And we are more than happy to recognize this with a very small gesture of gratitude by making him the hero of the week. And so, Bryce, if you're watching with us live right now or watching the recording, I'm going to be reaching out to you shortly, or you can ping me, and we'll get you a voucher for the Hedera store so that you can pick up some merch of your choice. But more than happy to recognize you. So.
Did an amazing job this week. You know, obviously, you know, the social was a little bit tough on us this week, and Bryce was in there and he did a wonderful, wonderful job.
Agreed. So remember, we got the hashtag Hedera T-shirt promo going on right now. So if you tweet out your best DApp idea or your favorite DApp idea that's already been announced with this hashtag, we will take the top, I believe it's 20 tweets. I think Sharon will correct me if I'm wrong here. The top 20 tweets that get the most engagement, and then we'll send them a free Hedera Hashgraph open access T-shirt. Kind of funnily, in a weird kind of way, we've kind of dubbed the Iron Man shirt for obvious reasons, and because I'm a comic book geek. So we call it, but you know, no trademark problems here. Not looking for any problems with Marvel. It's not called that. We're just having a fun time. So stay tuned for another live stream, and join the community if you want to learn more. If you like these live streams, smash that like button. Let us know so that we can keep creating more content like this for you. And subscribe to the channel if you want more. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos moving forward. We are very happy to put more content out on the YouTube channel. We're talking about a lot of exciting ways to make things easier for people to gain access to the information that they're looking for. But yeah, maybe Sharon will let us know if there's anything from the live chat that we can engage with the community with and discuss.
Yeah, thanks to all those that have left some comments in the live chat. I think we've tried to give as many references as possible, links to things, but it doesn't seem that there are any more DApp related questions. So I think we're all good for now.
Gotcha. Right on. Okay, well, thanks for taking care of that side of the things there, Sharon. We really appreciate it. It's been an amazing week. And Manon, can't thank you enough for joining the live stream. I know how much the community values you. You are, you're the master. You're a godsend, because Manon, for those of you who aren't aware, has been answering a lot of the same questions time and time again, supporting the community in Telegram because of all the complexity and brand new nature of what we're doing here, because what we're doing has never been done before. So rightfully so, there's going to be some confusion out there. There's going to be questions out there. We all expect that. You know, there's something going on here that's very different that's existed up till now. So it's exciting to engage with the community, and I'm sure they really appreciate seeing and hearing from you on the live stream here. So thanks for being here.
I enjoyed it, absolutely, and look forward to speaking with everybody on Telegram here shortly. And as always, make sure to tune in next week, Forkless Cafe.
Next week, Forkless Cafe. What future will you build? Hashtag Hello Future. Thanks for being here, everybody. Looking forward to bringing you more value next week.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.